You understand precisely the actions required, yet find yourself inexplicably unable to initiate them. Countless hours tick by, entire days dissolve into the past, and still, that critical task remains untouched, a monument to inertia. But what if I were to reveal that the core of the issue isn't a lack of motivation, but rather a fundamental flaw in your mindset? In just a few short minutes, I will demonstrate a straightforward mental adjustment, a subtle shift that compels you to spring into action, even in moments when motivation deserts you. The urgency is paramount because, without immediate change, you risk perpetually witnessing your vast potential drain away, slipping through your fingers like grains of sand. The question begs to be asked: how much longer will you permit fear to paralyze your ambitions, to hold you captive in its icy grip? When will you finally resolve to extinguish the flames of doubt, preventing them from consuming the very fabric of your dreams? Are you fully conscious of the profound truth that with each moment of hesitation, with each minute spent thinking, "not yet," precious opportunities for triumph are eroded, their potential diminished with every passing second? Today, we embark on a journey, diving deep into the uncomfortable truths you habitually avoid, dissecting the self-deceptive lies you perpetuate, and confronting the insidious fears that exert undue influence over your decisions. Prepare yourself, for I am about to unveil the transformative power of embracing the inherent discomfort that accompanies action, shattering the seductive illusion that progress can be achieved through comfort alone. It's a revelation that could redefine your trajectory. Therefore, if you value the content and insights we provide here, clicking that subscribe button is a simple gesture, a free act of support that profoundly benefits our ability to continue delivering valuable information. It's a small investment in your own growth and a vote of confidence in our mission. Let's embark on a journey to master our time and actions, unveiling the hidden strategies for effective self-management. Have you ever felt ensnared by the clutches of procrastination? Rest assured, you are not isolated in this experience. Frequently, we dismiss it as a trivial nuisance, an impediment that hinders our progress toward our objectives. However, procrastination transcends simple indolence or a dearth of motivation. Fundamentally, it represents an intricate interplay with our deepest anxieties, the dread of failure, the apprehension of criticism, and the yearning for unattainable perfection. It is, in essence, our mind's protective mechanism, a shield against potential suffering and unease, enveloping us in a deceptive sense of security derived from inaction. At this juncture, you might ponder the origins of these fears. Western philosophical and psychological perspectives provide valuable elucidation. The renowned Carl Jung once articulated, "What you resist, not only persists, but will grow in size." This statement perfectly encapsulates the dynamics of procrastination. The more we evade our responsibilities, the more formidable and insurmountable they appear to become in our perception. This pattern of avoidance cultivates a fertile ground for anxiety and tension, thereby amplifying the very apprehensions that initially prompted us to procrastinate. Therefore, a vicious cycle is born. Intriguingly, the Stoic philosophers also possessed a unique perspective on this phenomenon. They understood that much of our suffering comes not from the events themselves, but from our judgments about those events. By recognizing that we can control our reactions to challenges, we can diminish the power of fear and take action. Therefore, the key is to focus on what is within our control. The proponents of Stoicism firmly believe that, quite often, the mere anticipation of future events could prove far more crippling and enervating than the actual events themselves. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher-emperor, astutely observed in his timeless meditations, "If you are pained by any external thing, it is not this thing that disturbs you, but your own judgment about it. And it is in your power to wipe out this judgment now." This profound Stoic wisdom intimates that by consciously altering our perceptions and reshaping our cognitive frameworks, we possess the capacity to effectively surmount the inertia and stagnation that procrastination so readily engenders. Therefore, it is not the task itself that is inherently daunting or insurmountable, rather, it is the narrative we construct around the task, the self-limiting beliefs we internalize, that ultimately serves to hold us back and impede our progress. So, the crucial question arises, how, then, do we confront and ultimately vanquish this formidable beast of procrastination? Initially, it is imperative that we accurately recognize procrastination for precisely what it is, a subtle yet potent defense mechanism, subconsciously employed to shield and safeguard us from perceived harm, whether real or imagined. By cultivating a deeper understanding of this underlying psychological dynamic, we can proactively begin to question the veracity and validity of our deeply ingrained fears and anxieties. Are we truly in imminent danger, or are we simply plagued by an irrational fear of falling short of some unattainable standard of perfection? In the vast majority of instances, the worst-case scenarios that we conjure up within the confines of our own minds are vastly disproportionate to, and often entirely divorced from, the objective reality of the situation. Subsequently, it becomes critically important to actively and deliberately disrupt the insidious cycle of procrastination. A highly effective strategy is to commence with small, manageable steps. The Stoics, with their unwavering emphasis on rationality and self-control, consistently advocated for a laser-like focus on those aspects that lie squarely within the realm of our control, while simultaneously advocating for the conscious relinquishing of those elements that are inherently beyond our influence. Thus, this approach allows for a more measured and less overwhelming confrontation of the task at hand. By breaking down larger tasks into smaller, more palatable chunks, we can build momentum and gradually overcome the initial resistance that often accompanies the commencement of any endeavor. Therefore, the key lies in taking that first small step, even if it feels insignificant, and then building upon that momentum to achieve our desired outcome. Confront your objectives by adopting a gradual, step-by-step approach. This tactic serves to diminish the seemingly insurmountable nature of assignments and effectively curtails the trepidation that often accompanies them. As you steadily advance, your self-assurance burgeons, consequently lessening the inclination to postpone. Embrace the journey of learning through errors. Bear in mind that each misstep presents an invaluable opportunity for personal and professional development. Accepting this principle wholeheartedly can dramatically alleviate the anxiety associated with potential setbacks. Indeed, as the eminent psychologist Carl Jung insightfully remarked, the most terrifying thing is to accept oneself completely. By embracing our inherent imperfections and vulnerabilities, we effectively curtail their influence over us, thus diminishing the compulsion to procrastinate. This profound act of self-acceptance liberates us to pursue our goals with greater courage and authenticity. Have you, by any chance, encountered the ingenious 5-minute rule? It represents an exceptionally straightforward, yet remarkably potent, strategy capable of igniting your productivity and counteracting the inertia frequently induced by procrastination. The core idea is refreshingly uncomplicated. Select a particular task, establish a timer for a mere 5 minutes, and devote your undivided attention to that task until the designated time elapses. Whether it entails scribbling down the initial lines of your nascent blog entry, systematically organizing a shelf, or initiating the preliminary slides of an upcoming presentation, simply immerse yourself in the activity. This initial burst of focused energy often provides the necessary momentum to overcome the inertia and propel you forward. Consequently, the 5-minute rule functions as a catalyst, transforming daunting projects into manageable, bite-sized segments, thereby mitigating the allure of procrastination and paving the way for sustained productivity. Thus, this modest commitment of 5 minutes can yield surprisingly significant results. The allure of this particular methodology resides in its inherent straightforwardness, coupled with the profound psychological foundations that underpin its efficacy. It capitalizes on the seemingly insignificant commitment of 5 minutes, a time frame so brief and unthreatening that even the most seasoned procrastinators would find it difficult to refuse. However, the true magic lies in the fact that once the initial step is taken, a potent momentum begins to accumulate, rendering cessation a far more challenging proposition. This phenomenon can be partially attributed to what psychologists term the Zeigarnik effect, a cognitive bias wherein individuals exhibit a heightened recall for tasks that remain incomplete or interrupted, surpassing their recollection of those successfully concluded. In essence, upon embarking on a given task, the brain remains actively engaged and is naturally predisposed towards pursuing its fulfillment to its ultimate conclusion. Now, one might reasonably inquire as to the reasons behind the remarkable effectiveness of something as uncomplicated as the 5-minute rule. From a philosophical perspective, it finds a harmonious alignment with Stoic tenets, especially those emphasizing the importance of exercising control over those aspects within our immediate sphere of influence while simultaneously disregarding all else. Marcus Aurelius, the renowned Stoic philosopher and Roman emperor, consistently underscored the paramount significance of channeling one's energies and attention towards the present moment, diligently performing whatever task lies directly before them with unwavering precision and genuine dedication. Thus, the 5-minute rule serves as a practical application of Stoic wisdom, enabling individuals to overcome inertia and embrace productive action by focusing on a manageable and readily achievable initial step. By breaking down overwhelming tasks into smaller, more digestible segments, the individual gains a sense of control and accomplishment, fostering a positive feedback loop that encourages further engagement and ultimately leads to the successful completion of the task at hand. This, in turn, not only enhances productivity but also cultivates a sense of self-efficacy and resilience in the face of future challenges. The 5-minute rule beautifully encapsulates this profound teaching, gently guiding us to concentrate exclusively on the immediate next 5 minutes of our existence. It suggests that we avoid feeling crushed by the sheer magnitude of our duties and responsibilities. Instead, we focus on the attainable. Intriguingly, the renowned psychologist Carl Jung also explored ideas that deeply resonate with the 5-minute rule. He specifically discussed how initiating small actions can unlock substantial and deeply rewarding psychological benefits. Jung pointedly believed that, the least of things with a meaning is worth more in life than the greatest of things without it. Therefore, applying this wisdom to our 5-minute task, we can see that even a modest amount of meaningful, focused effort can inject considerable value into our day and, crucially, into our psychological well-being. This small burst of effort proves far more enriching than countless hours spent aimlessly or in avoidance of tasks that truly matter. Furthermore, this exceptionally practical method effectively mitigates the intense pressure of perfectionism, a significant and common stumbling block for countless individuals. By making a conscious commitment to dedicate only 5 minutes to a task, you are consciously avoiding setting yourself up for an intimidating and overwhelming goal of absolute perfection. Instead, you are establishing a manageable starter block, a foundation from which you can progressively build momentum and confidence. This pragmatic approach elegantly echoes the well-established psychological concept that, often, simply getting started is the most challenging hurdle to overcome. The initial 5 minutes can be the key to unlocking sustained productivity and a sense of accomplishment. Thus, the 5-minute rule is not just a time management technique, it's a powerful tool for psychological well-being and self-improvement. The moment we embark on a course of action, apprehension concerning the undertaking frequently diminishes, and the procedure commences to unfold with greater fluidity. For individuals who perpetually find themselves in a state of inertia, laboring under the illusion that even the most trivial duties are insurmountable, the 5-minute rule can revolutionize their existence. It transcends the mere artifice of deceiving the mind into initiating an activity. It constitutes a radical reformation of one's modus operandi in both professional and personal spheres. Consequently, it metamorphoses one's perspective from an attitude that recoils from the inception of any task to one that revels in the consistent and gratifying ritual of commencement. Embarking on a substantial project can often evoke the sensation of standing at the foot of an imposing mountain. The summit appears remote, and the ascent seems perilous. How, then, does one surmount such a formidable challenge? The solution resides in the meticulous dissection of the monumental into the manageable. This technique of fragmenting an expansive undertaking into diminutive, more assimilable components is not merely a stratagem for orchestrating work, it is a profound philosophy of existence that has resonated across diverse schools of thought, spanning from Stoicism to contemporary psychology. Therefore, Implementing this approach transforms overwhelming endeavors into a series of achievable steps. The sagacity of Stoic philosophy, particularly from luminaries such as Seneca, instructs us to resist being overwhelmed by the perceived magnitude of tasks. Thus, we are advised to approach each challenge with equanimity and a focus on what is within our immediate control. This perspective empowers us to navigate complexity with greater ease and resilience, transforming daunting endeavors into manageable opportunities for growth and accomplishment. This ancient wisdom, therefore, serves as a timeless guide for conquering both professional and personal obstacles. By embracing the Stoic mindset, we can cultivate a sense of calm and purpose amidst the chaos of life. Seneca, the renowned philosopher, astutely observed, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it." This profound statement resonates as a compelling call to action, urging us to cultivate a more efficient utilization of our precious time. Consequently, it encourages focusing intently on the present moment and diligently addressing tasks as they arise, adopting a methodical, one-step-at-a-time approach. Such a strategy proves invaluable in diminishing the anxiety that often accompanies the perceived vastness and complexity of daunting tasks. It effectively redirects our focus to the immediacy of the current moment, thereby aligning our endeavors with tangible, readily achievable steps. Psychologically speaking, the practice of dissecting larger tasks into smaller, more manageable components plays a crucial role in mitigating the cognitive overload that frequently occurs when we attempt to grapple with a task in its entirety. This phenomenon is thoroughly documented and extensively studied within the realm of cognitive psychology. Manageable tasks are generally perceived as less threatening and overwhelming, thereby significantly increasing the likelihood that we will actually initiate action and proceed towards completion. The esteemed psychoanalyst Carl Jung once insightfully noted, "You are what you do, not what you say you'll do." Therefore, by conscientiously breaking down a substantial project into a series of actionable steps, we steadily move closer to embodying the characteristics of productive individuals, defined not merely by our well-intentioned aspirations, but rather by the concrete actions we undertake. This shift in perspective is empowering, transforming us from passive dreamers into active achievers. For example, let us suppose you are faced with the seemingly Herculean task of writing a comprehensive report. The mere thought of the entire undertaking might induce feelings of overwhelm and procrastination. The looming task of write report can feel like an insurmountable obstacle, often leading to procrastination and a sense of being overwhelmed. However, reframing that daunting task as select report topic by Tuesday, write 300 words on the introduction by Wednesday fundamentally alters the perception of the work involved. This strategic decomposition transforms what initially seemed like an overwhelming project into a sequence of smaller, more easily handled subtasks. Consequently, this approach not only furnishes a well-defined roadmap towards the ultimate completion of the project, but it also presents numerous opportunities to achieve minor triumphs along the way, which, in turn, can substantially elevate morale and spark motivation. Furthermore, the meticulous process of deconstructing tasks into manageable segments facilitates more granular and detailed planning, which, in and of itself, can be a powerful motivator. Psychological research, specifically the Zeigarnik effect, reveals that individuals exhibit a heightened recall of tasks that are uncompleted or interrupted compared to those they have successfully finished. Therefore, when a project is dissected into smaller parts and these segments are progressively completed, each individual completion yields a significant psychological boost. It eases the mental burden associated with an unfinished project because continuous progress is being made, and, crucially, that progress is readily visible. This strategic approach also harmonizes seamlessly with the agile methodology widely employed in software development, which underscores the importance of iterative advancement through small, incremental releases, ensuring consistent forward momentum and fostering a sense of accomplishment. Thus, by embracing this method, you not only make the writing process more approachable but also leverage psychological principles to sustain motivation and drive project success. Applying this philosophy to your routine endeavors allows you to embrace a work ethic that is both adaptable and quick to respond to changes. You become adept at assimilating lessons from minor setbacks, and you refine your subsequent actions in real time. This approach proves far more advantageous than recognizing an error only after investing substantial effort into a larger undertaking. Each small task that you successfully complete contributes to building momentum. As the ancient Chinese philosopher Laozi, sometimes also referred to as Lao Tzu, once eloquently stated, a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. This timeless proverb masterfully underscores the fundamental essence of tackling grand projects by prioritizing the immediate, smaller steps. These steps are akin to the individual brush strokes that constitute a vast painting. Each one, when viewed in isolation, might appear insignificant, but when harmoniously combined, they coalesce to form a breathtaking masterpiece. Have you ever found yourself idly waiting for that elusive spark of motivation to suddenly ignite within you? Well, allow me to share a profound revelation that has the potential to reshape your entire perspective. Action, in fact, precedes motivation. This, in simple terms, signifies that the secret to cultivating motivation lies in initiating action. It represents an approach that boldly challenges conventional wisdom, but stay with me, because this paradigm shift can truly transform your life. Traditionally, we have been conditioned to believe that motivation serves as the essential starting point for any action that is deemed meaningful. This mindset often leaves us paralyzed, waiting for the perfect moment of inspiration, which can sometimes feel like an eternity. A surge of inspiration can certainly ignite action. However, relying solely on motivation can feel like an endless wait for a sunny day in a consistently overcast region. That perfect moment might never materialize. Instead, by initiating action, even in a modest form, you set in motion a powerful cycle where motivation naturally follows. Consequently, this motivation is further fueled by the very progress you are already accomplishing. This notion finds robust support from both psychological research and profound philosophical perspectives. Within the realm of psychology, there exists a compelling principle known as behavioral activation. This principle posits that the mere act of engaging in an activity can significantly elevate both your mood and your overall energy levels. Therefore, this elevation intrinsically bolsters your motivation to persevere and continue forward. This concept resonates profoundly with the ideas articulated by Carl Jung, a renowned figure in psychology, who asserted that, "You aren't what you say you'll do, you are what you do." In simpler terms, our actions define us far more accurately and powerfully than our intentions ever could. It's a powerful reminder that doing is more potent than merely intending. Furthermore, Stoic philosophy provides a solid and enduring foundation for this proactive approach. The Stoics, with their emphasis on practicality and resilience, firmly believed in concentrating your energies on those elements that lie within your sphere of control and taking decisive action. They advocated against being paralyzed by emotions or hindered by external circumstances beyond your influence. Marcus Aurelius, a prominent Stoic philosopher and Roman emperor, famously proclaimed, "The impediment to action advances action." This profound statement suggests that even obstacles and challenges can serve as catalysts, ultimately propelling us forward and reinforcing our determination. Thus, by embracing action, even in the face of adversity, we unlock our potential and pave the way for progress. What stands in the way becomes the way. This profound assertion suggests that obstacles, rather than being insurmountable roadblocks, can actually serve as the very impetus for our advancement. In essence, the act of confronting and conquering these challenges through deliberate action can ignite a chain reaction, transforming perceived barriers into pathways toward further progress. But how does this abstract concept manifest itself in the tangible realities of our daily existence? Let's delve into a commonplace scenario. Imagine tackling a seemingly insignificant chore, such as decluttering your desk. Initially, the prospect might evoke feelings of reluctance or apathy. However, once you initiate the process, a remarkable phenomenon occurs. you begin to accumulate momentum. Before you realize it, you find yourself not merely tidying the desk, but orchestrating a comprehensive reorganization of your entire workspace. Thus, the action itself, the very act of engaging with the task, spawns the motivation to accomplish even more, metamorphosing a seemingly trivial undertaking into a veritable productive spree. Furthermore, witnessing the tangible outcomes of your actions provides a potent psychological uplift. This phenomenon is widely recognized as the progress principle. Even incremental advancements in endeavors that hold personal significance can exert a remarkable influence on our emotional well-being, our perceptions, and our overall motivation levels. As you behold the fruits of your labor, irrespective of how seemingly minute they may be, your brain responds by releasing dopamine, a critical neurotransmitter intricately linked to feelings of pleasure and motivation. This surge of dopamine, in turn, propels you to persist in pursuing those rewarding sensations, thereby fostering a virtuous cycle of action and positive reinforcement. The lesson that emerges from this understanding is resoundingly clear: do not passively await the arrival of motivation. Rather, embrace the notion that action itself can serve as the catalyst for motivation. By proactively engaging with challenges, even seemingly insignificant ones, we can unlock our inherent potential and cultivate a self-sustaining drive towards continued growth and accomplishment. Therefore, instead of viewing obstacles as deterrents, regard them as opportunities to transform the seemingly impassable into the very path forward. Instead of remaining passive, immerse yourself fully in purposeful activity. Consider initiating a novel project, confronting a demanding assignment, or resolutely chasing after a goal you've cherished for a considerable duration. The very act of commencing something possesses the power to fundamentally reshape your mental and emotional landscape. You transition seamlessly from a condition of inactivity to one characterized by vibrant dynamism. Consequently, each incremental step you take propels you forward, rendering the subsequent step progressively more manageable and attainable. To effectively implement this strategy, begin with an undertaking of modest proportions. Indeed, the smaller the initial action, the lower the perceived obstacle to entry. Therefore, once you've successfully completed the initial step, the succeeding steps appear significantly less intimidating. This, in turn, cultivates a beneficial cycle of action and motivation. Now, let's explore a technique that might initially sound as if it originated from a motivational workshop. However, it's a technique deeply rooted in both ancient philosophical teachings and cutting-edge modern psychology: visualization. This is not about the mere exercise of wishful thinking or simply hoping for the most favorable outcome. Rather, visualization represents a proactive and strategic approach. It essentially involves forming a vivid mental picture of yourself successfully accomplishing your goals. The objective is to craft such an intensely compelling vision of ultimate success that your underlying motivation to transform that vision into a tangible reality experiences an exponential surge. But why does this particular method prove so effective and yield such impressive results? When you embark on the journey of visualizing achievement, you're not merely indulging in idle fantasies. Instead, you're actively stimulating the same intricate neural networks within your brain that would be engaged if you were, in reality, performing the very action you're envisioning. Athletes, for example, frequently harness the power of visualization as a potent tool to amplify their physical prowess. They meticulously picture themselves executing a flawless pitch with pinpoint accuracy or sprinting with unwavering determination across the finish line, a triumphant culmination of their efforts. This deliberate mental rehearsal serves as a comprehensive preparation strategy, fine-tuning both their minds and bodies for the imminent actual event, thereby bolstering their confidence and demonstrably elevating their physical performance. However, the advantages of visualization are by no means confined solely to the realm of athletic endeavors. Indeed, its transformative potential extends far beyond the sports arena, offering invaluable benefits to individuals from all walks of life. You, too, can effectively leverage visualization as a strategic tool to prepare yourself for virtually any task that lies ahead. By dedicating a mere few minutes each day to vividly picturing yourself successfully completing your projects or triumphantly reaching your goals, you are, in essence, laying down a detailed blueprint within the very architecture of your mind. This concept resonates profoundly with the teachings of Carl Jung, the esteemed Swiss psychiatrist and psychoanalyst, who astutely observed that, what you resist persists in your unconscious. In essence, this profound statement underscores the principle that whatever occupies your focus tends to proliferate within your psyche. Consequently, by consciously directing your attention toward positive outcomes, you are actively encouraging your mind to regard these outcomes not merely as theoretical possibilities, but rather as highly probable realities. Furthermore, the ancient Stoic philosophers, renowned for their wisdom and resilience, also embraced a particular form of visualization known as premeditatio malorum, which translates to premeditation of evils. This practice involved the deliberate act of visualizing potential obstacles and challenges that might arise, thereby affording oneself the opportunity to mentally prepare for the adversity that may lie ahead. By anticipating potential setbacks, the Stoics sought to cultivate a sense of inner fortitude and equip themselves with the mental resilience necessary to face whatever challenges life may throw their way. Although contemplating potential pitfalls might initially seem less optimistic than simply envisioning triumph, the underlying principle remains remarkably similar. Mentally preparing yourself for the challenges ahead allows you to navigate them with greater efficacy when they inevitably arise. Therefore, visualizing success, in this context, cleverly merges the Stoic philosophy of proactive rehearsal with a concentrated emphasis on favorable results. This dual approach serves to bolster your mental fortitude and enhance your overall preparedness. Furthermore, the practice of visualizing success ingeniously leverages the renowned law of attraction, a concept positing that we inherently draw into our lives those things upon which we consistently fixate our attention. By engaging in a vivid and detailed imagining of your ultimate success, you effectively harmonize your internal energy and external actions, aligning them seamlessly with the specific goals you aspire to accomplish. This is by no means a form of sorcery, rather, it's a potent method for establishing a clear intent and cultivating a positive mindset, thereby empowering you to make deliberate choices that propel you directly toward the future you've so meticulously envisioned. To illustrate, consider the scenario where you have just utterly triumphed in delivering a crucial presentation. Engage your senses and visualize the thunderous applause that erupts, the profound feeling of pride that swells within you, the gratifying nod of approval from your esteemed peers or respected superiors. Inquire of yourself, how does this accomplishment truly feel? What attire are you wearing at this moment of triumph? What ambient sounds permeate the room? The more intricate and detailed your visualization becomes, the more tangibly real it feels to your senses. Consequently, your brain becomes increasingly predisposed to behave and act in ways that are inherently congruent with this meticulously crafted vision of success. This, in turn, increases the likelihood of achieving that very success. Moreover, this mental rehearsal offers invaluable assistance in conquering apprehensions and anxieties related to the possibility of setbacks. It embodies a cognitive transformation, altering the perspective from a question of, "What if I fail?" to a proactive inquiry of, "What sensations will accompany my triumph?" This alteration in mindset is profoundly influential. Consequently, it facilitates a transition from a condition characterized by avoidance to one brimming with anticipation and proactive involvement. By consistently and habitually visualizing constructive results, you cultivate an intrinsic predisposition towards actions that demonstrably bolster the attainment of those very objectives. To fully harness its potential, seamlessly integrate visualization into the fabric of your everyday existence. Devoting merely a handful of minutes each day can exert a dramatic and appreciable influence on both your individual perception and overall attitude. Strive to render your visualizations as intensely vibrant and meticulously detailed as is humanly feasible. Deliberate upon the diverse range of sensations, meticulously contemplate the surrounding environment, and indeed, even carefully consider the spectrum of emotions you genuinely anticipate experiencing. This concentrated mental exercise not only serves to substantially bolster your confidence but also, crucially, serves to render the envisioned success you are diligently striving towards feel increasingly tangible and eminently achievable. Have you, perchance, ever paused to contemplate the sheer frequency with which we utter the phrase, "I'll do it tomorrow"? It often appears that tomorrow functions as the ultimate, all-encompassing receptacle for our most cherished hopes, carefully crafted plans, and especially, our proclivity towards procrastination. Yet, what profound and transformative effects might we observe if we undertook a deliberate and concerted effort to fundamentally recalibrate that deeply ingrained mindset? Imagine the ripple effect of such a shift. The potential to unlock untapped reserves of productivity and motivation is truly compelling. Imagine the possibilities if we wholeheartedly embraced the potent force of now, transforming this very instant into the foundational element of our advancement and successes. It's often said that tomorrow is the most occupied day of the week. However, the irony lies in the fact that tomorrow never truly materializes. As we habitually defer and procrastinate, tomorrow evolves into a mythical epoch, a time when all our inspiration and productivity are presumed to magically align. But let's confront the truth head-on: the flawless moment you're patiently anticipating is a mere illusion. The optimal time to embark on your journey is not some distant future, but right now. This concept resonates deeply with the core principles of Stoic philosophy. This ancient wisdom tradition underscores the importance of dwelling in the present, shielding our mental tranquility from the intrusions of the past or the anxieties of the future. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher-emperor, wisely stated, "Confine yourself to the present." This profound counsel serves as a constant reminder that the present moment is the only tangible reality we possess. Consequently, it is within this moment that we must act, we must seize the initiative. The psychological underpinnings of immediate action are truly compelling. When you commit to even a minuscule step towards realizing your aspirations in this very instant, you generate a powerful sense of momentum. Renowned behavioral scientists have meticulously demonstrated that initiating a task, regardless of how small the beginning, can substantially diminish the anxiety associated with starting and significantly elevate the probability of sustained effort. Therefore, by embracing the power of now, we not only align ourselves with ancient wisdom, but we also unlock the psychological advantages that propel us toward progress and achievement. This is partly attributable to a fascinating psychological occurrence, often referred to as the Zeigarnik effect, a phenomenon where our minds retain unfinished tasks with greater clarity than those we've already completed. Your brain, in essence, meticulously maintains a mental ledger of all outstanding tasks, persistently urging you to resume work and attain a sense of resolution. Therefore, by initiating action presently, you effectively harness this intrinsic mental proclivity to ensure tasks are carried out to their ultimate conclusion. Furthermore, the profound insights of Carl Jung into the complexities of human behavior underscore the paramount significance of proactive engagement over passive inaction. He astutely suggested that, "You are what you do, not what you say you will do," a powerful statement. This perspective strikingly highlights the intrinsic value of tangible actions in shaping our very identities, far outweighing the impact of mere plans or unfulfilled promises. Indeed, each deliberate action you undertake molds and defines who you are in a more substantial manner than any multitude of good intentions ever could. So, how can you effectively harness the incredible power of now and translate it into meaningful progress? Begin by posing a simple, yet profoundly important question to yourself: what is the single, most immediate thing I can do right now to actively advance towards the attainment of my cherished goals? It is crucial to remember that this initial step doesn't necessarily need to represent a monumental leap forward. Rather, small, consistent actions, diligently and purposefully executed, serve as the very fundamental building blocks upon which truly significant achievements are constructed. Whether it entails composing a draft email, sketching a preliminary outline, or simply undertaking the organization of your physical workspace, each seemingly insignificant action cumulatively accrues and gradually coalesces into a substantial and highly satisfying progress. Moreover, embracing immediate action serves as a potent catalyst in effectively breaking free from the debilitating cyclical patterns of both procrastination and paralyzing perfectionism. By taking the first step, no matter how small, you disrupt the inertia and gain momentum. The allure of awaiting ideal circumstances often proves to be a deceptive snare. Perfection, that elusive phantom, frequently postpones essential action. Consequently, a more prudent course of action lies in embracing the imperfect commencement. Profound sagacity resonates within the well-worn adage, "Done is demonstrably superior to perfect." The very act of doing, irrespective of the ultimate result, propels you inexorably closer to the attainment of your aspirations, a trajectory vastly more effective than meticulous, yet ultimately static, perfect planning could ever achieve. By wholeheartedly embracing the present moment as your locus of influence, you find yourself in harmonious alignment with yet another philosophical jewel emanating from the Stoics, a principle most eloquently encapsulated within the teachings of Epictetus. This venerable philosopher posited that our energies should be channeled exclusively toward those elements that reside within the ambit of our control. This pragmatic approach serves to streamline the decision-making process and simultaneously bolsters confidence, as it unequivocally places the onus of agency squarely upon our shoulders, empowering us to act decisively where we can genuinely exert a tangible impact, here and now. By focusing on what you can control, like your immediate actions and responses, you actively shape your environment and destiny, rather than passively waiting for an ideal, potentially non-existent, scenario to materialize. Envision this scenario: you have, with considerable effort and dedication, just navigated the intricate complexities of a protracted report, or perhaps you have finally brought order and neatness to your previously cluttered workspace. The question then arises, what should be undertaken next? It is precisely at this juncture that the delectable aspect of productivity manifests itself, rewarding yourself. Indeed, the pursuit of productivity transcends the mere completion of items on a to-do list. It encompasses the creation of a journey that is both enjoyable and sustainable. This is achieved by thoughtfully integrating rewards into the tapestry of your routine. These rewards, tailored to your individual preferences, serve as potent motivators, reinforcing positive behaviors and fostering a sense of accomplishment that extends beyond the mere ticking off of tasks. They transform the often arduous process of work into a fulfilling and intrinsically rewarding experience. Indeed, who among us does not cherish a well-deserved indulgence after diligent effort? Integrating rewards into your daily workflow transcends the mere provision of a pleasant respite from the mundane. It represents a fundamental element of a robust work ethic. This practice not only acknowledges the energy expended but also serves to bolster motivation for future endeavors. This concept is far from a simple pat on the back. It delves into the intricate psychology of behavior reinforcement, a process where rewards act to solidify the actions that pave the way for their reception. Thus, behavior is strengthened. This principle resonates profoundly with the behavioral tenets of conditioning. These are the very tenets that B.F. Skinner meticulously explored to unravel the mysteries of how consequences shape and direct our actions. However, let's delve even further into this fascinating subject, drawing insights from both the wisdom of antiquity and the perspectives of contemporary thought leaders. Stoicism, for example, while not explicitly championing the unrestrained enjoyment of rewards, nonetheless underscores the paramount importance of cherishing and fully embracing each fleeting moment. Marcus Aurelius, within the intimate confines of his personal writings, fervently advocated for the significance of tasks executed with excellence. He also emphasized the profound sense of fulfillment that arises from acting in unwavering accordance with one's deeply held principles. Consequently, even within a philosophy that values self-control, the quiet satisfaction of a job well done is implicitly recognized as a powerful and intrinsic reward. This internal reward, therefore, fuels continued dedication and promotes a cycle of virtuous action. Recognizing and celebrating the act of rewarding oneself, in today's world, can be understood as a way of honoring the admirable quality of discipline. Specifically, it involves setting a target, subsequently achieving that target, and then acknowledging the dedication and hard work required to do so. This acknowledgement serves as a powerful affirmation of one's capabilities. Rewarding yourself in a manner that is truly effective also necessitates selecting rewards that are both suitable and motivational. For example, imagine you have successfully navigated a particularly difficult phase of a project. In this scenario, indulging in a short coffee break, or perhaps treating yourself to a single episode of your favorite television show, offers more than just a fleeting moment of relaxation. Indeed, it also establishes a positive connection with the successful completion of a demanding task. This type of association is vitally important for sustained long-term productivity. By associating accomplishment with positive reinforcement, you're cultivating a mindset where you are more apt to approach your subsequent challenge with genuine enthusiasm and vigor. This positive feedback loop fuels ongoing motivation and propels one forward. Furthermore, the profound exploration of the psyche undertaken by Carl Jung provides invaluable insights into understanding why rewards can be such a deeply satisfying experience. Jung firmly believed that the act of acknowledging every facet of our experiences, which includes celebrating our achievements, contributes significantly to developing a more comprehensive and holistic sense of self. Consequently, by rewarding ourselves, we are not only incentivizing future action and behavior but are also, in effect, affirming our inherent worth and recognizing our abilities. This, in turn, nurtures a psychologically healthy state that acknowledges and genuinely values the effort we expend. In essence, rewards are not mere indulgences, they are affirmations of our self-worth. In addition to the above, integrating rewards into your routine can also serve to alleviate the potential monotony of continuous work, which can be extremely important for sustaining elevated levels of both creativity and productivity. Without periodic breaks and positive reinforcement, individuals can easily experience burnout, leading to a decline in both the quantity and quality of their output. Therefore, incorporating rewards becomes a strategic tool for maintaining engagement and fostering a more sustainable and productive work ethic. Thus, by deliberately breaking up the routine with rewards, you actively promote a more invigorating and productive environment for sustained success. The prospect of a reward serves as a beacon, offering something tangible to anticipate. Consequently, the drudgery of mundane tasks becomes somewhat more palatable. Conceptualize it as establishing a cadence within your workflow. In this framework, intervals of concentrated exertion are artfully interwoven with moments of authentic respite. Thus, your overarching efficacy is amplified. Nevertheless, it is crucial to attain equilibrium. Namely, it is paramount that the rewards themselves do not morph into a mechanism for dawdling. Instead, they should function as a demarcated finish line, galvanizing you onward, rather than diversions that wrench you from your trajectory. This is where self-control assumes prominence, a quality extolled in both Stoic philosophy and contemporary psychological methodologies. It pertains to governing your impulses, ensuring that the reward follows exertion, rather than preceding it. Therefore, the gratification is earned, not merely granted. And there you have it, a straightforward, yet potent, technique to render your productivity not only enduring but also pleasurable. Bear in mind that each completed assignment signifies a stride toward your loftier aspirations, and each reward constitutes a commemoration of your commitment. Now, do not neglect to explore one of the suggested videos showcased on your screen to perpetuate your voyage with us. These supplementary resources will assist in bolstering your strategies for time management and sustained motivation. The goal is to foster a work environment where accomplishments are both anticipated and celebrated, making the journey toward your aspirations not just productive, but genuinely rewarding. Delve into the depths, broaden your understanding, and, above all, maintain your unwavering inspiration. We extend our sincere gratitude for your presence here at. Remember to persistently advance, tirelessly pursue your goals, and consistently acknowledge your accomplishments, irrespective of their apparent insignificance. Thus, let us continually move onward. Your journey of self-improvement and stoic living is a continuous process. Therefore, celebrating even the smallest victories can provide the momentum and encouragement necessary to persevere through challenging times. In this grand journey of life, often fraught with adversity, every step forward deserves recognition. By embracing the principles of Stoicism, you are choosing a path of resilience, wisdom, and inner peace. In connection with this, remember that each day presents an opportunity to learn, grow, and refine your character. So, let this serve as your constant companion, offering insights, guidance, and a supportive community as you navigate the complexities of existence. With that in mind, keep striving for personal excellence. And never underestimate the power of small wins, for they are the building blocks of lasting transformation. Thus, we remain grateful for your continued engagement and are excited to accompany you on this remarkable odyssey.